Oh, hello everyone! I'm so excited to be back, and this time I'm going to go through my July reading wrap up. I read, no, not 13, 14 books in July. Yay! I read so many amazing books in July that I really can't wait to talk to you guys about them because it was just such a banger of a month. Some of the books that I read this month were also very, very special books to me. I read some exciting arcs for books that are coming out, and I read some arcs for books that are out now, so there's just so much to talk about. So I think that's enough for this intro. Let's just get right on into all of the books that I read in July. First up, I actually listened to this book on audio. I got the Audible code for this book sent to me by the author, which is great, but I also got this book in a beautiful PR package, and that is Forbidden Hearts by Corinne Michaels. This book was actually delightful. I'm pretty sure I gave this book 5 stars. I have the memory of a peanut, people. It's on my Goodreads what I rated it. I'm pretty sure I gave this 4.5 to 5 stars or 4 stars. I don't know. It was really, really good regardless. It's all a blur, okay? This reading month is a blur. This book was so delightful on audio, and this is the first book in Corinne's new small-time romance series, and this book is actually Single Dad Nanny, one of my favorite tropes. This book was a quick read. There's really, really good spice in here, I must say. I thought the characters in here were really just charming, and I was really invested the entire time. It's so, so entertaining. And again, if you can pick it up on audio, totally recommend the audiobook. It was insanely well done. I think this is a great Corinne Michaels book to start with. I mean, again, this is where I started, and I cannot wait to check out more of her writing. Again, I own a lot of her books physically on my Kindle. I own them as audiobooks, so I can't wait to fully enter my Corinne Michaels era. Next up, I have the physical copy of this book, but it is downstairs on my new bookshelf, which, you know, maybe I'll show you guys one day. I'm sure I'll post about it on TikTok and Instagram. But anyways, Marrying Off Morgan McBride by Amy Berry. Real ones now. 5 stars. I listened to this on audio as well, just like I listened to Kit McBride Gets a Wife, which is the first book in this series by Amy Berry, which I loved and gave 5 stars. The audiobooks of this series are just delightful. This is a Western historical romance between another McBride sibling, obviously Morgan McBride, and once again their sister Junebug tries to get him a wife. What I loved about Pip and Morgan is their relationship was just so good. I liked that Pip and Morgan are like two characters who didn't think that they were worthy of love, who weren't sure if they were going to find love, especially Morgan. He like doesn't think that, you know, marriage is in the cards for him. He has other plans to like travel and like something for work and, you know, being away from his family, X, Y, and Z. But then when they meet and they get to know each other, they just have an undeniable connection. And I just love that it was a period piece. These books are honestly so funny and so entertaining. And this one, I must say, this one has on-page spice. Amy Berry, you wild woman. I was so happy to see that because the first book is closed door, and it is not a deal breaker for me at all if a book is closed door or not. I love a lot of closed door romances. And again, a closed door romance is just a book where there is not spice on the page. But Amy did step it up, and there were a couple spicy moments, and they just like gave me the tingles. I thought it was just so sweet and adorable. This book is really memorable for me. Both of these books are really memorable for me. I consider these books to be some of my comfort books. I am just so obsessed with the vibes. I love historical westerns, especially done in a way like this, where it's just like super cute and funny and charming and just easy to listen to. And I love the whole family, and I'm waiting for Berkley to announce book 3. Berkley, where is book 3? There are more books that can be told in the series. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the announcement. Next book I also own physically. Again, don't know where the physical copy is for this, but it was sent to me by the author, and I did listen to this on audio. Audiobook was sent to me by the author, and that is, what is it called? Anchor of Secrets by Tessa Hale. That's what it is. This is actually a paranormal romance, which anytime, you know, I pick up a Tessa Hale book, I mean, I've only read the 2 by her, but you know, I like that I'm switching it up because I'm not a big paranormal romance person, but I think hers are great ones to start with because they're so easy to follow. They're very entertaining. It's short chapters. They're very fast paced. This book is a direct sequel to book 1, so picks up right where book 1 left off. It follows our same girl whose name I cannot remember. and her fated mates all right, and you know, it's a wide choose paranormal romance time. And this is a great series where if you're like me and you like men who are very, very, very protective over their girl, you're gonna eat this up. And like I said, they are such quick, simple reads. I have listened to both of them in like a day. Like these are just like 1-day audiobooks for me, which is really nice. If you need a paranormal romance, I would absolutely check them out. I think that this is a really fun series and I cannot wait to read other Tessa series in the future. Okay, another book that I listened to on audio, we have Under the Stars by Laura Pavlov. I really am loving her Cottonwood Cove series. I just finished book 3 today, and I found that to be delightful, and I found this to be absolutely delightful. This is another book where I either gave it 4 or 4.5 stars. So sorry that I can't remember. I definitely know that the main girl's name in this book is Georgia, and I don't know why I can't remember the main guy's name. I think because I've been reading so much small town romance, all of these main characters, their names are all just like blending together. Do you know what I mean? Especially the guys' names. Like they all sound the same. It's like Holden or Hardin or just like you know what I'm talking about. This is a really fun boss employee relationship. Our main girl, well, they actually work in like books and like publishing, which I thought was really, really fun. And Georgia is like the definition of like a bubbly, outgoing girl. And the main guy is, you know, the grumpy boss. There is, it's definitely not the world's like biggest age gap between them, but there is an age gap in here. Obviously you get that forbidden element because he is her boss. The family group chats that happen in these books are really fun, and this was just absolutely delightful. It was a really also very quick listen on audio, another audiobook that I listened to in 1 day. It was really fun to see our girl Georgia, you know, melt the grumpy boss man's heart, so that I really enjoyed. Okay guys, it is time. It is time. It is time to talk about my baby, the first of my 2 babies that I'm going to talk about in this wrap up. And that is The Long Game by Elena Armas. Fun fact, I actually have 2 ARC copies of this book. I have my ARC copy that I actually read. Oh yeah, and then this is the one that was signed from Elena at Book Bonanza. Elena Armas is a very good author friend of mine, to the point where when you read this book, which you should read it when it comes out on September 5th, you will see a little side character named Kelly in here. She literally appears on like page 4, and that name inspo may or may not have come from your girl. This is Elena's 3rd book. This is a small town soccer romance, and this follows Cameron, aka Cam, and I want to make sure I say her name right, Adeline. Adeline. So Adeline actually works for a very famous, I don't know if it's basketball or soccer, but let's just say she works for a very famous sports team, and her father actually happens to be the owner of that sports team. And after Adeline goes viral for an incident, I won't spoil it, she gets sent to this small town. Turns out the soccer team that they have there is actually a young girls soccer team, and there she meets Cam, and Cam is actually a very famous soccer player. He's British, which is delightful. And both of them are grumpy, which is incredible. I love that dynamic. And this is just a slow burn, small town romance. It's so funny. This book had me laughing out loud. This book made me smile. And there is a goat in here. Cameron has 2 cats. They're cabin neighbors. This book is just so cozy. This was just such an easy 5-star, again, from Elena. All of Elena's books I've given 5 stars. She's one of my favorite authors. Her books just make me so happy. I can't wait to tell Elena in person that I think she really shined with writing the girls' soccer team. The little girls in here and just the townspeople in general are so charming and so cute and funny. Like, I really think if you like rom-coms, you're going to eat this up. The romance between these 2, once it starts to heat up, again, it is a slow burn, but once things started burning, oh my god, it was so good. Please check out The Long Game when it is out September 5th. Just, it's my baby. Mwah. I love this book so much. Then we have another book that I arc read, and actually I didn't even finish the arc on time, so I ended up finishing it on audio, but honestly, listening to it on audio was a good way to go because the male narrator for The Antihero by Sarah Kate is Jacob Morgan, and no one plays a horny but sad church boy like Jacob Morgan. This book, I'm pretty sure I gave 4 stars. I actually really enjoyed it in the moment. Is it my favorite Sarah Kate book? No, but is this a really good, spicy, forbidden romance? I think yes. I had a really, fun time with it. I can't remember the main 2 characters' names, or maybe do I? Is his name? No, her name is Sage. See, I remember the girls' names, but the guys' names are, again, just such a blur. Is his name Alex? Basically, our main guy is the son of a very famous pastor in town, and he obviously has religious trauma, and he thought that he wanted to do something in the church, and then he has a change of heart. He meets Sage one day in a diner, and he's like, wow, look at this girl. She has pink hair, tattoos, not his normal type, but he can't help but be captivated by her. She actually works at, let's say, an adult club in town. So this is a spicy, sexy tale of revenge. How do they get revenge? These two, they do like adult videos with each other, okay? They film and post videos because they want to make it clear. He's like, I'm not a good church boy no more. Look at me getting it on camera with this girl. But obviously all of this fake dating and fake hooking up turns into real feelings, and the spice in this book, obviously it's Sarah Kate, it was really well done. And another book that I found to be very entertaining, like it really was, I was never bored. So if you like forbidden romance books, I would absolutely check it out. And like I said, the audiobook was very well done. Oh, and the audiobook is duet narration as well, which is a really great bonus. So again, totally recommend the audiobook. I actually love all of Sarah's books on audio, so 100% recommend. Another book that I listened to on audio, we have The Nanny by Lana Ferguson. I gave this 4 stars. Another single dad nanny book. I mean, come on now. My biggest issue with this book was actually that it was too long. For a contemporary romance, this book felt like it never ended, especially at the end. Like, the end just felt like it went on for way too long. And it makes me sad because this book totally had potential. Like, this could have been a 5-star book for me if it was just like edited one more time. Like, just something about it was off. I still gave it 4 stars because this book is, listen, for a contemporary published romance, this book is very spicy. This book had so much potential because I love the setup so much. It is about a girl who needs a new job, and actually her previous job was doing, OnlyFans. And the twist in this book, even though it's not a twist, it's literally like the plot of the book, it's on the back of the book. The dad, who she now nannies for with his daughter, used to be her top fan on OnlyFans, and they had a connection on OnlyFans. And the girl figures out that, pretty quickly that the guy who she now works for was her top fan on OnlyFans. So our main girl is basically navigating the feelings that she had in the past with this guy, and then the current feelings that she has. And again, this book, spicy. It was just too long. I definitely wouldn't have been able to finish it as quickly if I listened to it. I mean, if I didn't listen to it on audio. I would definitely check out other books from Lana in the future. She does have a new release coming out, I think sometime in the fall. I'm sure that'll be a spicy good time as well. Okay, I'm so excited to talk about this next book. I'm really so excited. I am so happy that I finally decided to pick up Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. Look at the cover of this book. That is stunning. That is literally fucking stunning. This is actually forbidden because it is best friend's little sister, which is great. This is Lila's first book. It is going to be the first book in a series of, connected standalones, and it is a cowboy romance, and this is a true cowboy small town romance. Both of these characters do things on the family ranch. The main guy does stuff with horses, so I loved the aesthetics of this book so much. I loved all the connection to animals, and I just, everything about this book was fucking perfect. I gave this book like infinite stars. This is one of my favorite books that I read all year. This book is another book that is a big part of my personality. I am absolutely obsessed. I cannot believe this is from a debut author. I think Lila absolutely knocked it out of the park. Lila is so sweet. I've talked to her a lot and she is a doll, and I'm just so proud of her, and she knows how much I love this book, and I can't. Cowboy romance enthusiast approved. Okay, I'm wearing my cowboy shirt, I'm wearing my cowboys, always repping my cowboys, and this one is just divine. If you like Elsie Silver, you have to pick this book up. Then I listened to Bait by Jade West. This book I gave 3 stars. I don't really have a strong opinion about this book because it was really just fine. I listened to this on audio, but I wouldn't recommend it on audio because I do think people aren't going to like the narrators. I listen on 3 times speed, so it didn't bother me, but I do know people personally have problems with this audiobook because they don't like the narrators. I will say, obviously, this book is called Bait, and this is a spicy romance. So you would never guess that it is about, well, it's not fully about primal schmink, but that is obviously the schminky dinky do in this book, and I do think that element of it was done well. I think the spice in this book is really, really good, and this book was also a quick listen as well, which I really appreciated. This book has been on my TBR forever. I have owned this audiobook forever, so I feel really accomplished to you know, have listened to it. I also will say this book surprised me because I really expected it to be just like a full spicy short book, but actually both of the characters had pretty serious things going on in their lives. It was entertaining. Again, the spice was definitely my favorite element. It's just at the end of the day, not something that I'm really gonna remember. Another book that I got to listen to on audio, I actually had this as an audiobook arc, but the book is actually out now. It just came out. We have Glimmers of You by Catherine Cowles. This is the newest book in her Lost and Found series. This is what, book 3 we're at now, and this book follows Gray, and of course I can't remember the main guy's name, Caden. What I loved about this book is it is an enemies to lovers. They do know each other from the past. He's a billionaire. It's best friend's sister, but he also, but they also fake date. So it's fake dating with romantic suspense. I love this whole series on audio. I think the audiobooks are so well done. And this is another book. All of the books in the series as well are like one-day audiobook listens for me, which I really appreciate. They're so well paced. They're so entertaining. Another instance where I really love the family in this book. And I thought Gray was just such a wonderful character to follow. Caden was just really, really sexy. There is really great spice in here. I mean, Catherine's books aren't the spiciest books in the world, but I do thought the spice in this book was very well done. I think this book has my favorite suspense in it thus far. Like the end, when things were really starting to get twisty and turny and all of the suspense was happening, I was like, oh my God, like I was seated. Okay, I was fully seated and I was very entertained. I love this series. I love Catherine, and if you need small-time romance recs, her books are now available on KU. Totally pick up a Catherine Cowles book. Another book that I arc read that's out now that I cannot wait to talk about, we have Mantras and Minotaurs by Ashley Bennett. If you know, you know. I love Ashley Bennett, and this series is everything to me. The other books in the series are Muscles and Monsters and Tentacles and Triathlons, and I can't. These have no right to be the cutest, coziest, but also very spicy monster romance books like ever. Like Ashley Bennett has such a gift at writing these characters that you cannot help but be invested in. Chapter 1. Literally chapter 1. I was like, oh my God, Pam and Al. That's mom and dad. I love them so much. Books are also like semi-low stakes, which I like. I mean, this book does feature a long distance relationship. So basically, also with this book, I want to say these characters are older. This is literally someone's mother and it is someone's father. So if you are tired about reading about books with characters who are in their 20s, even their 30s, here you go. Again, these are just my comfort books. I love monster romance, and if you actually aren't a monster romance person, I think the Ashley Bennett ones are great ones to start with because They're just so charming. Like, you just forget that she's with the Minotaur. You just think she's with the most cuddliest, attentive, sweetest man. I am very happy to report that I am back in my mountain man phase, okay? I finally got back into this Gemma Weir series that I love so much. I finally got to book 3, Kept by the Mountain Man, because I saw that this was finally out on audio and I squealed with excitement. I will say these books are very short, so you don't even really need to listen to them on audio. I just like them on audio because, again, they're very quick listens. I can knock them out in like a day. And this was just, I mean, listen, I'm pretty sure I gave this 4 stars, 3.5 stars. It's like, with all of these books in the series, they're technically like 3 to 4 star books, 4 stars being generous because these books are quite repetitive, but I don't care because they're 5 stars to me. They are very gorgeous to me. These books are just an over-the-top good time. I mean, I have so much fun with them. I see the value in them, and I just think that I just eat them up every single time. They're just so funny. For example, in this one, I don't remember their names. It doesn't fucking matter. When the guy meets the main girl, he actually helps her out with like her car on the side of the road. He instantly is just like, oh, this is mine. This girl is mine. And once a mountain man claims you, you're done. Definitely a book series that isn't for everyone, but if you want just like really over the top, spicy, funny books, all of the books I think are age gaps as well, check them out. I love them. I really would keep going in the series, even though, again, it's kind of the same book, different font, but you know, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm ready to see where we go next. Like, listen, if a mountain man wants to claim me, who am I to say no? Take me. I'll go to the mountains. I cannot wait to get my greedy paws on my physical copies. But another book that is very special to me that I arc read this month that actually comes out in a couple days. It's out on August 7th. We have Hideaway Heart by Melanie Harlow. I don't even know how I'm going to talk about this because this is just batshit fucking crazy, okay? I gave this book infinite stars, okay? I am obsessed with this book. This is my new favorite Melanie Harlow book. And listen, I'm not just saying that because the main character is named after me. So this book follows Pixie Hart, whose real name is Kelly Jo Sullivan, and she is actually a famous country music star who just wants to get away for a little bit. So she rents a cabin in the woods for 2 weeks, and her brother, who happens to know our man Xander, so it is, you know, like a best friend's little sister situation. He's like, listen, she's saying she doesn't need security with her. That's not the case. I need you to go up with her and literally be her bodyguard for the week while she's up on vacation. So it is a forced proximity bodyguard romance, and it is just perfect. It's insane. I can't believe that I get to be connected to a book that is this good. Like, truly, Xander and Kelly's relationship, I am obsessed. Kelly was so sweet and so sassy, and just, you know, of course, at the beginning, she's like, why are you here? I don't want you here. But then, of course, they warm up to each other, and I just thought their relationship was so beautiful. Like, it's one of those Melanie Harlow couples that I really felt their connection, and I was so attached to them. And this book, I finished it in like 2 days. In the first sitting, I got like halfway into the book, which I never do when I Kindle read because I'm a quite slow Kindle reader, but this book just flew by. I didn't want to put it down. Obviously, again, I have a connection to the book. I couldn't be connected to this book, and I'm telling you, this would still be my favorite Melanie Harlow book because I think that bodyguard element was just, oh, it was so good. I may or may not be doing a live show on YouTube with Melanie and Christy, who is Read Between the Wines on Instagram, TikTok. Maybe you've heard of her. She has like she has over 500,000 TikTok followers, okay? My girl Christy's a big deal. This book is just, it's special, okay? It's really special. I hope you read it when it comes out. I hope you love it, and I'm just gonna stop now because, again, I could talk about it forever and ever and ever. So that was all for my July reading wrap up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you read any of these books and you loved them, please let me know what is a book that you loved in July. I would love to know. As always, all of my social medias are linked down below. My TikTok, Instagram, Goodreads, etc., which are other places that you can follow me, to keep up to date with what I'm reading. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe, like, comment, share. It means the world to me. That is all for today, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!